Okay, so picture this. A country's entire online gambling market totally locked down for decades by a state monopoly. Then, all of a sudden in 2023, the vault door just cracks open. But, and this is a big but, only for a select few who can pay the massive price to get in. That is exactly what's happening in Hungary right now, and we're going to break down the new rules, the incredibly high stakes, and what this all means for anyone looking to place a bet.
To really get how big of a deal this is, we gotta take a quick step back in time. So, after the fall of communism, Hungary passes its first gambling act in 1991. Just a year later, the state-owned company Szerencsé Jaya Tigze RT is born, and with it, a monopoly that would last for over 30 years. And that all leads us right up to the game-changing moment in 2023, when that iron grip on online sports betting finally came to an end.
All right, so as of January 2023, things really started to shift. Hungary, responding to directives from the European Union, went ahead and amended its Gambling Act. This wasn't just a small tweak, it kicked off a brand new era for its online sports betting market. And here's the headline, right? For the very first time, private companies from anywhere in the European Economic Area can actually apply for a license to run an online sportsbook in Hungary. An entire era of state control is officially over, and the door to competition is, at least in theory, finally open. But, and you knew there was a but coming, here's the twist. While the market is technically open, getting a seat at this new table is, well, anything but easy. In fact, Hungary has put up some of the highest barriers to entry in all of Europe.
Let's just think of this like a super high-stakes poker game. Before you can even look at your cards, you have to make a massive buy-in. It's pretty clear the Hungarian government isn't just looking for any players. They're looking for established, heavyweight champions.
First up, let's talk capital. To even get your application looked at, an operator needs at least 1 billion Hungarian forints in share capital. Now that's roughly 2.5 million euros just to prove you're financially sound enough to even be in the game.
And if that wasn't enough, on top of that, you have to fork over a one-time non-refundable licensing fee of 600 million forints. That's another 1.5 million euros right up front. I mean, that fee alone is going to filter out pretty much everyone except the most serious and well-funded companies out there.
And believe me, it is not just about the money. Applicants also need a super solid track record. We're talking at least 5 years of licensed operating experience within the EEA. And this is crucial. If a company was caught engaging in any unlicensed gambling in the last 5 years, they are automatically out. The message here is crystal clear. Hungary is only interested in experienced, compliant, and financially rock-solid partners.
Now, here's a really important catch you need to understand. This big change, this liberalization, it does not apply to everything. When it comes to online casinos, Hungary is playing by a completely different set of rules. Okay, so check out the difference here. On one hand, you have online sports betting, which is now open to qualified EEA companies. But online casinos, that market is still completely locked down. An operator can only get an online casino license if they already have a concession, basically an agreement with the government to operate a physical brick-and-mortar casino in Hungary. So what you end up with is this kind of split personality market, where competition is invited in for sports betting, but the online casino world remains this very exclusive club tied directly to physical buildings. It lets the state keep much, much tighter control over that part of the industry. So with all these new rules and different systems, you've got to be wondering, who's the official referee? Who's making the calls and making sure everybody plays fair? Well, that would be the primary regulatory body, the SZTFH.
So this is the SZTFH. And the full Hungarian name is Szabályozót Tevékenységek Felügyeleti Hatósága, but in English, it's simply the Authority of Regulated Activities. And they are the central power in Hungary's gambling world. Think of them as the league commissioner. They set the rules and they enforce them, no exceptions.
And their job is huge. They're the ones who issue those super expensive licenses we just talked about. And they're constantly monitoring operators to make sure they're following the rules. Plus, they have some serious enforcement power. They can block illegal websites and even freeze payment accounts to protect players and keep the market clean. From audits to fighting money laundering, the SZTHF is watching everything. Okay, so we've got new rules, we have a powerful regulator, but what does any of this mean for you, the player? More specifically, what happens to your wallet when you actually win?
This is the big question, the one everyone wants to know, right? If you hit a big win, do you get to keep all of it, or is the taxman going to come looking for his slice? Well, the answer actually depends entirely on where you play. And this is where it gets really personal. If you win on a site that has that official license from the SZTFH, your winnings are typically tax-free. That's right, tax-free. But if you happen to win on an unlicensed, illegal site, that money is treated as regular income. And yup, you're going to owe taxes on it. So you see, this is why these new regulations matter so much to the individual player. Choosing a licensed operator isn't just about making sure the game is fair and your data is secure. It's a straight-up financial decision. The difference between a tax-free windfall and a taxable income is massive, and it makes your choice of where to play more important than ever before. And that really brings us to our final thought here. Hungary has built this system that's designed for maximum security and control, with these incredibly high barriers to get in. So the question is, does this model create a safe, reliable market for players? Or does it end up stifling real competition and new ideas by making it just too darn hard for new companies to even enter the game? That, my friends, is the billion-foreign question.